Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and today I'm going to be working with the Pink and Main. This is the Courtyard kit for December 2020, and it is precious. So I have been toying with subscribing. I have been up to this point getting my kits if they have leftovers and just as I wish, but I have been thinking about getting the kits monthly. I wanted to show you very quickly what comes in the kit, and one of my favorite things, well, I have a few favorite things about these kits, but it coordinates color-wise so perfectly every month. The paper pad, the embellishments, the full-size sheets that you see at the back there, which are 8.5 by 11, they are always perfectly coordinated. And you don't get that in every kit. I've gotten lots of other kits over the years, and they work together, but they're not like perfect. Like, okay, this is going to date me, but I remember going to prom and having to have my shoes dyed to match my dress, right? Do y'all remember that when they would dye shoes to match your outfits because they had to be all matchy-matchy? Anyways, so a stencil comes with this, an embossing folder, a stamp set, coordinating dies, a standalone stamp set, enamel dots, sequins, paper. It's really an incredible value. Like if you added all of it up, I'm sure it's at least $60, $75 worth of stuff. Okay, I always use this color story that they include to pick out my inks. So I've just gone through my ink drawer and pulled out the inks that I think coordinate the best. And the first thing I'm going to do is make my own ephemera. I really like doing this with these kits. You might have seen, I think it was a September kit was the last time that I got one. I think it was September. It might have been October. But if you look back on my channel, you'll definitely find it. And I just think that this really lends itself to making your own ephemera, which is totally fun because then you don't run out. You can just keep making more. And then if I make a bunch at the beginning, like I'm doing here, then I don't have to stop and do it for each card. So what I'm going to do is stamp out like 4 different colors of these images. And I really love that they're solid images. I just think it's so cool. I like that Pink and Main has been doing solid images. It would be a completely different situation if I was having to color all of these. I wouldn't make nearly as much ephemera, that's for sure. And the cool thing about these solid stamps, which I didn't do that, if I get a good response from this video, I might go back and play with this kit again, because to be honest, when I was editing the video down, I came up with 3 or 4 more ideas. So if y'all want to see those ideas, give me some likes, let me know in the comments, and I can show you guys those. But like even though these are solid stamps, you can still color them depending on the ink that you use and how you want to color them. So if coloring is more of something you enjoy, it's still possible. Okay, because I used a stamp positioning tool and I can line up the straight top edges of these sheets, I'm going to be able to cut out 2 at a time because I never moved my stamps and I always positioned my paper in the same spot. So you can see all my little ephemera up there in those dishes. And now we're just jumping into the first card. And for this one, I am using the card that they gave in the kit that had the color story on it. I'm using that as my inspiration, and I'm going to ink blend the like turquoise blue and the purple that I had pulled in to use with this kit. Again, if you pull the colors for the color story all at once, it speeds up the process. You can make a bunch of these cards pretty quickly. This one that I'm making now. And it's so much fun. So you can see here, I really tried to completely mimic it, and I wasn't liking the results I was getting. So I kind of freestyle from here and do my own thing. So I'm bringing in a sentiment from this stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it on the patterned paper, and then I'll do like a banner cut. I am going to glue down the sentiment and the mittens, and then I pop the little hat up with foam squares. And I was so excited because I finished a sheet of foam squares, 100% gone in the trash. I've really been trying to use up some of my foam, my sticky foam that I've had for a while, because it does get less sticky. You don't want to hoard that stuff. So I'm trying to use up as much as I can find. All right, and I'm going to use these beautiful sequins. I really love this mix. It has snowflakes that are like snowflake shape, but then it has some that are round, and then lots of iridescent, beautiful colors that again match perfectly. I just really, really appreciate that. Don't get me wrong, I really love it when paper pads like work together but they don't match perfectly. I appreciate that too, but this is really just well done, and I appreciate that. All right, so I embossed this pattern paper with the embossing folder that came in the kit, and now I'm kind of playing around again. I will be honest, I really kind of struggled more than I thought I would with these images. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, they are so cute, and they are so cute. But translating them into cards, for me personally, was a little bit tricky. But it might not be for everyone, you know. You might look at this set and come up with tons of ideas that I didn't come up with. Okay, so I am going to rough up the edges. I'm layering, and I do believe this is my favorite card that I made in this session. I love a layered card, and so I really like the way this one turned out. And this one I think would be great for like a birthday, like someone who has a birthday in winter. So I left this one without a sentiment so that it could be added later or when I give the card. I just loved this knit paper. It's so chunky and beautiful. The color is so rich. I appreciate that Pink and Main always has like bright colors, but they're like jewel tone bright colors. And that's just right up my alley. I just love it. So here's the thing about a Pink and Main kit. If you're just getting started in card making, this would be a really great investment in building your stash. For example, in this month, you get standalone dies. You get stamp and die set that coordinate. You get paper. sequins, embossing folders, stencil, enamel dots. I mean, that would build a beginner stash in 1 month. And I am going to show you at the end of this video all the stuff that I had left over. The thing about it is some of it, obviously, like these enamel dots, is a consumable. So you use it up, it's gone, that's it. But most of this kit, what I appreciate about it is stash building in the way of like elements. You can use the embossing folder 150 times. You can use the stamp set and die set over and over and over again for years to come. The same thing with the stencil and the standalone dies. I just think it's a tremendous value. Okay, now I'm bringing in something from my stash, also from Pink and Main, and this is a slimline stitched die set, and I'm going to pull out 3 different sizes. So I kind of had a specific idea, and then my paper tore. 2 sheets of it. So I had to completely change directions from where I was going to go with this card. But I still really like the way it turned out. Okay, one of the things that I really like about this paper pad, well, I loved all the patterns and the colors, but it could lend itself to birthdays and thank you cards. It could be used all year long. And that is just awesome. It doesn't have snowman all over it or things, the mittens and the scarves and boots to where you can really just use it in winter. It is versatile for the entire year. I love it. Okay, so I layered it up, and this card is actually not going to have any of the images from the stamp set on it. I decided to let the pattern paper just kind of sing on this card and the colors. The only thing that I brought in from my stash was this ribbon. And a lot of times there's actually ribbon in the kit. There wasn't this month, and that's fine. I don't always need ribbon because, of course, I have plenty. Okay. So this one I am using a sentiment from the stamp set that says hello. And so this card could be used for any occasion, really. And I do decide to go ahead and bring in the enamel dots, and I'm going to bring in that bright pink to kind of bring that over to the side of the card and let it kind of trail over and translate. So that is that card, and I just love it. Card number 4. I wanted to make a 1-layer card, and it is so fast and easy to do, again, because these stamps are solid stamps. So I just used a white piece of paper. It's a piece of cardstock, and just stamp these out in different colors. This is a very simple, fast, and cute card. I was happy with the way it turned out. So if you have ideas about how you might use these images, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. And if you get the Pink and Main kit, I would love to know that too. It's not a kit that I see used too much, which is always surprising to me because I think it's such a great value and they're always so unique and different, and I appreciate that. And Pink and Main is just an incredible company. They're one that gives back to a great cause. And I'm always like supporting businesses that support nonprofits and that support a good cause. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the sequins again and use those. And I did stamp the sentiment there as well. And besides the sequins, this is totally just a 1-layer card. Okay, card number 5. This is the last one. This one's super funky. I think, well, I was needing to wrap up my session so that I could go cook dinner and feed my family. So I think that kind of limited my vision for the 5th card a little bit. And I think I like it. I mean, I definitely like aspects about it. And then other ones I'm like, well, that was an interesting choice that I made. Okay. But you know, with our creativity and with a hobby like this, you just have to play. I mean, with anyone's hobby. So I grabbed all the sentiments and I made this really fun background. Again, just alternating the words and colors and placement. And I think this turned out adorable. It's the focal point that I'm not crazy about for this card, but I liked this. I liked this aspect of it. But it's just ink and paper, right? So, like, we have to play, we have to explore and try things. And just because I'm not crazy about it doesn't mean that someone else wouldn't be happy to receive it. So, I know that it's easy to be critical of ourselves and the things that we make, but I always try to remind myself that there is someone who would enjoy getting this in the mail with their name on it, and that it would put a smile on someone's face. One day, when I get to do live videos here on YouTube, it's going to be so much fun. I was making this and I was thinking, I wish this was like in a live session and I could get feedback and people could, vote for what direction they wanted me to go with it. One day that'll happen. It's probably going to be like in a year, but it'll happen one day. All right, so I added again enamel dots. This, I don't know, I'm just trying to save this card and get it done and wrap it up. And here are my cards. I forgot to do the inside of that one. and of the last one, but I'll go back and finish those up before I use them or send them out. So I think they turned out super cute. This is so nice. This is so pretty. Very different. I don't know how I feel about that one, but I like these. And maybe the first two are my favorite. All right, this is everything I had left over, a ton. And I really put those enamel dots to use. I had 20 full sheets of paper left, and they're double-sided. And all of this stuff, tons of pieces of ephemera. It's just so much fun. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. I would love to know which card you like, if you want to see more examples of me playing with this kit. I always enjoy reading your comments down below. Thanks for all your support. Have a great day.